Where should you keep your gun at if you have a kid in the house?
Okay, let's go back. How old is your child when you teach your child firearm safety? Okay, let's just say you keep your gun in the safe, right? You can send a little lock box right next to the bed. Okay? Middle of the night, boom, you hear somebody kicking your door in, they're hauling ass to your room, ready to spray you up. How long is it gonna take you to get that gun in the safe? I can leave my gun on the counter if my child already knows firearm safety. Now, go back to my question. How old should a child be before we teach them firearm safety? Garbage. How old were you when your parents taught you not to stick your finger in the light socket, touch the stove, play with knives? You couldn't even talk. Barely could walk. Perfect example. Some stuff you just didn't play with, right? Mommy and daddy taught you look left, look right, look left before you walk across the street. Did you play with traffic? Some shit you just not gonna.
Business Insider magazine claims that it's dangerous to teach children that they have a God-given right to self-defense, and they should not exercise their rights under the Second Amendment. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multi-faceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like channel, like content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything is appreciated. Once again, for my Connecticut residents, if you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please get that training done before July 2024, because then after that, it becomes longer, harder, more expensive. Basically, to disincentivize you from going out and getting your permit in order to get a firearm. If you have your permit, watch that expiration date. Don't let it expire. There's a link to the online renewal for Connecticut pistol permits in the description box. Pay attention to that. Let's talk about this. Business Insider magazine, which is, as is called, a business magazine where they talk about commerce and business, stocks and so forth and so on, has decided to sashay its way into the Second Amendment, and it put out an article claiming that we should not be teaching young people that they have a right to a firearm under the Second Amendment, and not to indoctrinate them into the idea that they have a right to self-defense. Now, I'm not sure what they're thinking there, but this seems to be the latest push. Once again, undermine the Second Amendment and the reality of life. I'm going to come into here. Business Insider, very dangerous to indoctrinate young Americans that they can lawfully possess a firearm. Now, it starts out talking about Sports Illustrated. If you don't know what happened there, Sports Illustrated had to lay off a massive number of people who work at that company, because apparently they're not doing so well, because they decided to go down the woke road and started to put plus size models in their swimsuit issues and trans models. And well, Americans just weren't buying into it. But now Business Insider has jumped down, or sashayed their way into the same lane by writing an article claiming that it is dangerous to teach children about the Second Amendment. But their latest pearl-clutching screed laments the dangers of teaching America's young people that they have a God-given right to own a firearm or a gun for lawful purposes, including self-defense. Why, it's almost as if Business Insider interns took a press release from the Brady Gun Control Org and decided to post it as a headline news on their website. Now, this is from Business Insider. The NRA wants your kids to love guns. Programs promote Second Amendment absolutism to kindergartners and on up. For the National Rifle Association, no American is too young to join in their absolutist defense of the Second Amendment, and that includes kindergartners. Now, it's interesting that they have a problem with teaching young children about the Second Amendment. Yet, all the filth that they teach children in school now is all fair game. Books with pornography and illicit material is all good. Confusing children about their gender is okay. Teachers selling their political ideals of wokeness is all okay. But you mention the fact that in the Bill of Rights you have a Second Amendment right to a firearm. That's dangerous. As an NRA corruption trial began in Manhattan this month, the gun rights lobby started accepting submissions from children grades K to 12 for its 2024 What the Second Amendment Means to You Youth Essay Contest. The annual contest encouraged children to engage in scholarly research on the Second Amendment, as well as reflect on how the Second Amendment and other constitutional rights affect their daily lives, as the gun lobby described in its 2016 blog. Leaving aside the oddness of asking the youngest of grade schoolers how the constitutional right to bear arms affects them personally, the content raises alarms for gun control advocates. Yeah, because God forbid children should know the truth. Gun violence remains the number one cause of death for children, and we have debunked that many, many times. I have on this channel. 18 and 19-year-olds are not children by standards of law, yet they included gun deaths of 18 and 19-year-olds and eliminated deaths of children under the age of 1 to get the number of, so they could then say that gun violence is the number one killer of children. That's how they played that. Notice BI proving themselves to be a hack here by not pointing that out. But according to the CDC, so there's something almost macabre in enlisting children in an NRA mission to restrict gun control, said Chris Brown, president of the gun violence prevention group Brady. 8 kids a day are killed or injured by guns in the home, said Brown, calling that grim statistic uniquely American. Quote, it's very dangerous for younger Americans to be indoctrinated with the viewpoint that the Second Amendment allows every American to lawfully possess a firearm, she said. The full-throated attack on educated America's young people on the rights the Constitution protects from statistics and tyrants should shock us all, but knowledge about running businesses successfully and profitably doesn't seem deep among the writers there. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to the next part of their tirade. The NRA offers other contests and scholarships for children. The group sponsors cash prizes up to $1,000 for 1st through 12th graders who create artwork portraying any North American game, bird, or animal that may be legally hunted or trapped. High schoolers can apply for all expense paid summer youth education summit in Washington, D.C. The gun lobby also offers free training programs through an online education courses in several states. The New Mexico and Alabama program takes kids 10 and up. In Texas and Kentucky, it's 9 and up. Prizes for artwork and free gun safety training programs. Oh no, that all needs to stop. Let me come out of that. So they have a problem. You know, the greatest deterrent to children harming themselves with guns is to fully explain to them how a gun works. Explain to them the lethality of firearms. Let them get an understanding that it's not a video game. It's not a movie. It's not some book that they read. This is life and death. And to teach them the responsibility of handling a firearm. I used a little video several times over where a gentleman was talking about when do you start training your children on gun safety? And the point is, when did somebody tell you don't stick your fingers or stick items into an electrical socket before you could even speak? Look both ways before you cross the road. This is the same thing. Teach your children gun safety and you won't have children accidentally shooting themselves because they will understand that this is life and death. Once you pull that trigger, you cannot call that bullet back. So I don't know why Business Insider, a business magazine, has issue with teaching children gun safety and responsibility. It's because we don't have that programs in place in a lot of parts of the country, that we got teenagers running around the damn streets with Glocks with switches on the back to make them full auto. But that is not a problem. It's somebody teaching a child responsible gun ownership. It's just amazing to me what they consider okay and what's acceptable to teach a child. Some of the most bizarre stuff that I've ever seen in my life, but they have a problem with teaching a child gun safety. It's almost like you have to ask these people where you're coming from with this. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.